I'm a 27-year-old guy who's been with my girlfriend, Elise, 24, for 2 years. I thought we had something solid, something worth building on. We moved in together 7 months ago, splitting rent and responsibilities, settling into what felt like a real partnership. But lately, I've been questioning whether I'm in a relationship with Elise or just tagging along with her inseparable friend group. I'm done feeling like I'm competing for a spot in her life. And here's why. Elise is part of a tight-knit crew, Sophia, Julian, Maya, and Theo, who call themselves the Pack, with zero irony. They're a unit, group chats, buzzing at all hours, coordinated outfits for every major event, and a shared calendar that dictates their lives. At first, I admired how close Elise was to her friends. It seemed healthy, enviable even, but now I feel like I'm dating a committee, not a person. I'm tired of coming in last. The breaking point hit last weekend. Artwoo year anniversary was approaching, and I'd planned a special evening. Dinner at the little Italian place where we had our first date and tickets to a jazz band Elise had been raving about for months. It wasn't extravagant, but it was thoughtful. Tailored to us. I found her on the couch, glued to her phone, laughing at the Pack's latest group chat antics. "Hey, Elise," I said, sitting beside her. "I've got something planned for our anniversary next Saturday. It's going to be great." Her face fell like I'd just delivered bad news. "Oh, Caleb, Saturday's Maya's birthday party. I can't miss that." Mr. Mac twisted, but I tried to stay calm. "Could Maya move it to Friday or Sunday? It's our anniversary. Just one night." She shook her head. Before I finished. "No, you don't understand. Maya picked Saturday because it's the only night everyone's free. Julian's got a work thing Sunday. Sophia's been slammed with her new job. And Theo's going through a rough patch after his breakup. They need me there," I pressed, my voice tighter than I meant. "Elise, this is our anniversary. One night for us. You see them all the time." She leaned back, arms crossed, her expression hardening. "Friendship lasts forever, Caleb. Love, that comes and goes. They were here before you, and they'll be here after." The word after landed like a punch. Not if we break up, not maybe someday, but after. Like our end was already scheduled between Maya's party and their next group hike. This wasn't the first time. When I graduated with my master's degree, Elise skipped the ceremony for Sophia's art gallery opening. My cousin's wedding, she was too exhausted from a 3-day music festival with the Pack. When my mom had knee surgery, Elise couldn't visit because it clashed with their weekly board game night. But when Theo needed a ride at 2 a.m. after a night out, guess who she called? Me. I'd show up, and she'd barely look at me, too busy taking group selfies or gossiping about some drama. On the drive home, she'd ramble about the Pack while I sat there, feeling like a hired driver. Worse, I overheard her on the phone with Maya, saying I was going through a possessive phase and needed to learn to share her. Share her? I'm her partner, not a timeshare. I've tried talking about balance, about how relationships need attention too. She'd nod, promise to do better, then immediately plan another group outing. When I pointed out the pattern, she'd flip it, saying I was trying to isolate her from her friends. No matter how I approached it, I was the bad guy. I'm writing this from a coffee shop because I couldn't stand being in our apartment anymore. I've been browsing rentals online and found a one-bedroom I can afford 15 minutes away. The lease application's ready in my drafts. I love Elise, but I can't keep begging to be a priority. My friends think I should give her an ultimatum, but I'm exhausted from pleading for basic consideration. Is it too much to ask for your girlfriend to act like she's in a relationship? Reading your responses has been a wake-up call. Many of you asked why I haven't ended it yet, and you're right. I've been holding out hope Elise would see what she's doing. But her actions speak louder than my hopes. I'm submitting that lease application tonight. Wow, this post got more attention than I expected. Thanks for the support and reality checks. To those asking why I didn't break up sooner, I kept thinking Elise would realize how her choices hurt me. But she's shown me where I stand, and I'm done waiting. I submitted the lease application the day I posted. Got approved in 2 days, which felt like the universe giving me a nudge. Over the next week, I moved my stuff out, while Elise was with the pack. Convenient, since they're together almost every day. By Thursday, I'd moved about 75% of my things. Books, clothes, my computer setup. She didn't notice until she came home late from a karaoke night with the pack and saw my desk was gone. "Caleb!" She called, her voice sharp as she checked each room. "What's happening? Where's your stuff?" I was in the bedroom, packing my last suitcase when she found me. She stood in the doorway, eyes scanning the half-empty room. "Are you moving out?" Her voice broke slightly. I handed her a letter I'd written, explaining that I needed a partner who made me a priority, not an afterthought. I kept it calm, honest, no accusations. She read it quickly, then again, slower, her face paling. "You're leaving because I have friends?" she said, like it was absurd. I sat on the bed, trying to stay steady. "It's not about you having friends, Elise. It's about me feeling like I don't matter." She waved the letter, her voice rising. "This says you want me to choose between you and the people who've been there for me forever." I shook my head. "I want you to care about us. I want to feel like your partner, not a guest in your life." She stared at me, incredulous, like I'd asked her to abandon her identity. "You knew I was close with them when we started dating. You're throwing away 2 years because you can't handle me having a social life." We went back and forth, her framing me as controlling, me explaining it was about mutual respect. It was like talking to a wall. She kept circling back to the pack, mentioning moments we'd shared, like that time we all went to a brewery or when Theo crashed our movie night. Even her memories of us were crowded with them. After 30 minutes of the same argument, I held up my hands. "I'm done, Elise. Done arguing. Done with us." Her expression shifted, like she finally realized this wasn't just a fight. Then things escalated. She followed me around the apartment, listing shared moments, half of them involving the pack. "Remember when we all went to that lake house? Or when Sophia helped us paint the apartment? Like our relationship didn't exist without her friends." I told her I'd come back for the rest during Maya's next event, a barbecue, naturally, and left my key on the counter. By Saturday, my phone was a war zone. Elise sent long texts, begging to talk like adults. Then the pack joined in. Sophia called me immature for ghosting. Theo said I was tearing apart their family. Julian suggested a group meeting to sort it out. And Maya, who I've maybe spoken to 12 times, texted that I'd regret leaving. By Sunday, they were calling me toxic for abandoning Elise, despite the letter I'd left. Monday night was the peak of the insanity. I got home to find all 5 of them outside my new building, Elise in front, like a general. "Caleb, we need to settle this. You can't just disappear," she said, loud enough for neighbors to peek out. Theo stepped forward. "You're hurting her, man. You're hurting all of us." I was dumbfounded. How am I hurting you? Apparently, by dating Elise, I joined their family, and leaving her was like betraying them all. It was the most codependent thing I'd ever heard. Maya was filming. God knows why. Sophia was teary, and Julian kept trying to play peacemaker. Elise nodded along, like this was normal. I told them they had 30 seconds to leave, or I'd call security. They didn't budge, so I went inside and made the call. Security escorted them off, but Elise yelled, "This isn't over, Caleb!" It's been 3 weeks. The texts have slowed, but I still get random messages from unknown numbers, probably them using burner phones. Building management's on alert. I don't regret leaving, but I'm stunned by how unhinged this got. Who brings their entire friend group to confront their ex? What kind of adult behavior is that? Life's been good since I moved out. The new apartment's a fresh start, work's picking up, and I'm reconnecting with friends I neglected during the Elise era. Turns out, when you're not playing taxi for your girlfriend's crew, you have time for your own life. But the real drama's with the pack, and it's wild. My friend Liam, who works with Julian, says that their group's crumbling. Julian's fiancée Harper thinks the pack's dynamic is immature and has been pushing him to set boundaries. He's skipped their weekly hangouts and barely responds in their group chat. Focusing on his engagement, Elise reportedly flipped, saying Julian's pulling a Caleb. Sophia got a promotion that's moving her to Denver, and Elise has been icy, calling it disloyal to choose a career over the pack. Meanwhile, Maya and Theo are dating now, which is shifting the group's vibe. Elise is freaking out, worried a breakup could ruin everything. The irony? Elise is telling everyone her friends are abandoning her, calling it Caleb behavior. When I wanted to feel valued, I was needy. Now that her friends are prioritizing their own lives, she's the victim. I'm thriving, though. I went to a comedy show with old friends last weekend. No group coordination, no Instagram marathons, just fun. I'm also seeing someone new, Ava. She's got her own friends but makes time for us. We had dinner recently, and she didn't check her phone once. It's refreshing. Then Elise texted me. "Hey, Caleb, I've been reflecting. Can we grab coffee?" I said things I didn't mean. Then another. "I messed up. I'm learning to balance things. Could we try again?" Liam thinks she's rattled because the pack's dissolving, and she sees I'm happy. I'm not responding. I spent 2 years begging her to care, and she chose her friends every time. I'm not her backup plan now that her social circle's shrinking. Elise's texts kept coming for another week, each one more introspective. "I get what you meant about balance. The pack's fallen apart. I miss you." That last one stung. We had great talks early on, but I stayed silent. Last Monday, Ava and I were at a tapas bar when I spotted Elise, Maya, and Theo at a corner table. Julian and Sophia were absent. Julian was with Harper, and Sophia's in Denver. Elise saw me, hesitated, then approached as we were leaving. "Caleb, can we talk for a minute?" she asked. Ava squeezed my hand and said she'd wait outside, handling it with grace. Elise looked tired, older somehow. "You were right about everything. Balance, priorities. I see it with Julian and Harper. I'm sorry for how I treated you." It was her first real apology. No excuses. I told her I appreciated it, but had moved on. She glanced at Ava and said, "She seems wonderful. I hope she values you." And that was it. Liam says the pack's done. Julian's all in with Harper. Sophia's thriving in Denver. And Maya and Theo want space as a couple. Elise is trying to hold it together, planning nostalgic events, but no one's biting. She's learning what I tried to tell her. Relationships, romantic or platonic, need mutual effort. When people can't grow, they leave. Ava and I are doing great. She met my friends last weekend, and it was effortless. No drama, no competition. We're planning a weekend trip, just us, and it feels exciting, not selfish. I don't wish Elise harm. I hope she learns to build connections that don't demand sacrificing others. But I'm glad I chose myself. Thanks for following this saga, everyone. Time to turn the page.